as a color commentator. So how do you view your role here in terms of, is it strictly as a color commentator? I mean, the thing that you do better than anyone else is draw eyes. So do you view yourself as part color commentator, part hype man? What role do you see?
Well, you know, my only role is as a commentator. Now, with that said, I like it when people tune in. Whatever I'm doing, I just like it when people tune in. I have an ego like anybody else, and it's more fun when people are watching. So I went to the World Series of Fighting, the first one they ever had in Las Vegas. I was in town filming The Ultimate Fighter. And so anyway, I went to this show, and it was awesome. It's a fantastic show. Orlovsky fought another gentleman from Oregon, an old teammate of mine named Devin Cole. That was really what brought me out, but it was a spectacular event. The broadcasters were great, the ring was great, the sound, the lights, the action, the talent, I mean, just everything was there. And even as you watch it the first time, you go, man, this is going to be around. This is a really good product that's going to last. And so as far as my involvement, I'm just going to call the action. That's all that I do. But I do like when people tune in. Even if I'm just calling the action, I like it when people listen.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because I was talking to a few of the fighters earlier, and there's something about the World Series of Fighting that's different than Bellator, in my opinion. They have a pretty good relationship with the UFC. It's at least amicable. It looks clean. They have major sponsors. They have a major network. Do you really feel like 10 years from now we're going to be looking at this as like a really serious promotion? Not that it's not now.
I definitely do. I think the World Series of Fighting is great, but I'm a fight fan. I like mixed martial arts, you know, as a whole. I've never understood when a new promotion comes in why they would try to attack the UFC or go into the media and say that they're going to surpass the UFC. I've never understood that. Little League, when I was growing up, admitted what it was. It was Little League, and it was packed. The stands were packed. When I got into high school, we admitted that we were just high school, and we filled up arenas, our football team, our whatever it was. When I got into the NCAA, we admitted we were the NCAA. We sold out stadiums. I was at the University of Oregon. We'd have 40,000 drunken, foolish fans with their T-shirts on. They weren't claiming to be the NFL. Then eventually you get into the NFL, and there's room for everybody, but there's nothing wrong with telling people the truth. There's nothing wrong with coming out and saying, we're a new promotion, we're fight fans, we're on NBC Sports, we've done a really good job, we're going to operate in this space too. The more honest you can be, the more the fans can get behind you. When you come out and you try to get crazy, you start drawing lines in the sand. There's no reason to do that.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot of feathers in the World Series of Fighting cap. They have you, they have Boss, they're not beholden to a Reebok deal. Okay, I want to go ahead and finish up with the fights. Obviously, that's what we're here for. You're in a unique position. You fought for the belt at 85 and 205, so you understand what David Branch is going through. Was it an easy transition for you? I mean, obviously, they give you John Jones, you got to take it, but at those weights, is it a complicated thing to sort of go between weights?
I think that he's going the right way. You know, whenever you go up a weight class, it's a lot easier than having to go down, because you got to make the weight, right? He's got to make the weight tomorrow night. Well, gaining 20 pounds is a lot easier than taking 20 pounds off. So I think he's going to be all right. And I will tell you this: the hardest guy to fight is the guy one weight class below you. And there's a huge misconception. There's a saying, size advantage. Size has never been an advantage in a fight. Mike Tyson in his prime was 220 pounds. Muhammad Ali in his prime was 198 pounds. The smaller guy always has the advantage in a fist fight. It is an absolute misconception that it goes to the guy who's bigger. That was created by some father way back when whose kid got his ass kicked in the first grade, and he couldn't explain to his buddies at work why it happened. So he goes, well, the kid was bigger than my son.
Yeah.
Your kid's a punk. Your kid got beat up. You should have taught him to fight. That's what happened.
So, moving over to Justin Gaethje. Listen, I see him as a top 10 lightweight in the world. I see him right there with. I'd like him in a fight with Alvarez, and I'd like him in a fight with Melendez. So my question to you is he destined, if he does get by Palomino, who's right next to us, if he does get by him, does the promotion of him sort of be like a Ronda Rousey or Demetrius Johnson, where you're promoting the fact that he's just a dominant guy, or do you just have to sort of build guys up and wait it out?
Yeah, whether you're talking Palomino or Gaethje, I mean, it's the same thing. You have 155 pounds is the hardest weight class in this sport. The only one to argue it is 145 pounds, right? There are 10 John Joneses at 155 pounds. There's 10 John Joneses at 145. I can tell you as a big guy, I didn't have to deal with anything like that. You know, those guys don't move like that. The guys at my weight classes got tired over time. They don't just go at you nonstop. And it's just a different weight class, you know. And I agree with you. I think that Gaethje, I'd put him in the ring with those same guys, but you know, is that your phone? But at that weight class, it's just so competitive, you know, and it happens so fast. And it's just a tough weight, you know. When a guy gets beat, I never hold it against him in that weight class. You throw a guy out there 5 times, he's gonna lose the fight. Well, you look at the UFC title, you know, whether it's Dos Anjos or Pettis or you know Cerrone and top contender, that belt changes hands a lot. That's just a really hard division.
Yeah, that's true. And finally, just to put a cap on things, what is it that has you the most excited?
Appreciate the fight back in March too.
Well, I can tell you,
day before my birthday, so it was a
this
great
specific
great birthday present you gave for us.
you know, it's Gaethje and Powell. That's the fight I want to see. I do want to. It would be a really cool thing if Branch could pull this off. As a commentator, I can't cheer for anybody, and I'm not. But I'm just telling you, as a fan, take the athletes out of the equation. If a guy can pull that off, that's a cool thing. Particularly in history, history will smile very fondly upon Branch if he can do that. It may not be. It'll be a big deal now, but a few years from now, it'll be a really big deal. It'll be a really rare thing where a guy can take over 2 divisions. Doesn't happen very often. So I'd love to see that, and I'll tell you, looking for the future, I really want to see Fitch versus Okami. You know, I wish that fight was going on tomorrow night. I can't wait.
Chael, I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Compelling and a gentleman as always.
Pleasure.
Have a great day. Good luck.